This was around 5 years ago when I was visiting my family in Los Angeles for winter break. I was heading to the bathroom on the second floor of my aunt's house when I saw my cousin April on the stairs. April was 4 and very animated. She was busy making funny faces while sitting on the stairs. I asked her what she was doing and she said, "I'm copying the lady with the braid." I looked around, but there was no one else but us. I asked, "Where's the lady, April?" She pointed to a beam running parallel to the stairwell. I asked April, "What is the lady doing?" She said, "Making funny faces." I smiled and started walking up the stairs again when April said something that stopped me in my tracks. April said, "Her braids are around her neck." I turned back and asked April to repeat herself. April pointed. "The lady is hanging by her braid. She's making funny faces." Then April started making a face, which I then realized was someone gasping for air. When I was in 8th grade, I went on a school trip that was called the Louisiana Tour. It was mostly going around to significant sites in South Louisiana. One of the places we went was Myrtle's Plantation, which is considered to be one of the most haunted places in the country. There are all kinds of stories about this place, but at one point we were standing in a room as part of a larger group and the tour guide was talking about something. I don't remember what. As I'm standing there, I start to hear what sounds like someone hitting a piano key. After I heard it a couple of times, I started to look around for the source of the noise. I didn't see a piano, but I kept hearing it. So I asked my friends who were standing near me if they heard it, and they said no. When I heard it again, I said, "There it is again," and that they must have heard it. They thought I was crazy. So I went back to looking around the room. Everyone's eyes were on the tour guide except for one woman. She caught my eye and pointed at me, and then at her ear with a questioning look. I realized she was asking if I heard it too, and I nodded. At this point, the tour guide starts telling a story about a soldier who had died there, and that he had played the piano and multiple guests had reported hearing him playing in the night. I honestly didn't know what to think. I guess I still don't. I talked to the woman as we were all leaving the room, and she had heard the exact same thing as me, but her husband and son had not heard it. Me and my friends were driving home from a show we all went to. This was about 7 years ago. Anyway, we drove by a local elementary school, all of us joking and laughing, or whatever 16-year-olds do. My friend's girlfriend looked over at the playground in a school. She screamed and refused to talk to anyone for a few hours. We all asked her what was wrong, what she saw, and what happened, but nothing would make her tell us. We all thought she saw someone on the playground or maybe even a dead body or something. All we knew was that she was seriously spooked. As a backstory, I should add that she's sensitive to paranormal happenings. She would have doors fly open at our old house, clothes hangers fall off the rail, cups fall over, and then all of a sudden right themselves multiple times. Anyway, she eventually told her boyfriend what she had seen. She said that she had briefly seen a bunch of blood-covered people walking around the playground aimlessly. I immediately started blaming exhaustion as it was around 2 a.m. when we drove by. We looked it up later and it turns out that a plane had crashed into the school in the late 80s and a lot of people had died. A few years ago, my brother would get a call on his cell phone around 2 or 3 a.m. every night. He would answer and it was this hellish sounding noise, like static mixed with screams. He changed his cell number after a month of this and it finally stopped. Then after a week or so, it began again. The exact same time, the exact same noise. Finally one day he decided to backdial a call. It was an old man who had no clue what he was talking about. Still, the calls persisted. If he didn't answer, it would call a few more times, and no messages were left. One day, he decided to say screw it. He ended his contract with his phone company, switched to a new one, and got another new number. After all of this, the screaming static calls continued, only after a short delay. By this time, he was terrified every night, unsure why this was happening. He back-dialed the number again and got a different person. Around this time, he lost his job and his phone. The call stopped, of course. His phone was disconnected now. So one day, my mom asked me to listen to this weird message she got on our home phone. It was the static screaming. We showed my brother and he was freaking out. He back-dialed the number again and it said the number was disconnected this time. After that, we never heard from it again.